Hello, my name is Amy. Welcome back to my YouTube, or welcome if you have been here before. So here we talk about all things activation, light language, so bringing in your soul purpose, aligning to your highest gift, bringing through your higher self, connecting with your angels and guides, all of that good stuff. Okay, so today I'm going to have a little chat with you about how I use light language. I mean, so there's so many ways that I use light language now that I'm probably not going to be able to cover them all in this like one video or go into them in depth, but I will go into them as much as I possibly can. If you do enjoy this content, I do offer light language activation and healing sessions, as well as a light language activation, channeling and healing course. If you would love to start bringing through the frequency for yourself, or maybe you've already been on your light language path for some time and you want to know more about what the frequency is, how to work with it, channeling in, the different guides and angels and all of that, and how to work with it on those levels. Okay, so how do I work with light language? I mean, I started out using it as like a clearing tool. So I'm going to make another video about like how I actually brought it through, because it was a bit random. I didn't try and learn it. It was something that completely happened to me by accident, but it wasn't by accident. So I used it as a clearing tool. So when you speak it or you express it, the codes, so I made another video about what the codes are the other day. When you speak it or you express it, okay, so you can speak it or express it with intention, and you can send the codes into spaces to clear them. So for example, I started out just using it to clear the space in my bedroom. So I was going around the bed, on different corners of the bedroom and speaking the energy into the different spaces. And whilst I was doing it, I was visualizing like an energetic net that was like catching and dissolving anything that wasn't of my highest and best intention as I was walking around my room. So you can actually say that, before you do it, or you can imagine that happening. So I now set this energetic template so that there are only beings of the highest and purest intention able to come into this space. And because I work with Archangel Michael, if you work with the angels, I now invite Archangel Michael to please clear and dissolve anything away that isn't supposed to be there or isn't serving me. And just set this energetic template up, or this like net that's like dissolving anything. So that was one way that I started to work with it. And you can use it on your physical being as well. Okay, so speaking it into your light body, into your aura, into your different chakras. Okay, aligning the chakras. Okay, going through the different ones, making the different sounds. Again, these are all topics that I could probably make a video about, and probably will make a video about, to be honest, on their own. Okay, so I would just visualize, like, as I'm saying it, like this energy going around me, going through my physical being. Right, so just, imagining it clearing your energy field. So I've been making a lot of TikToks recently, and I'll probably do one on this subject, but I need to be stood up and the camera needs to be the other way for it to work best. So I will do a video on that as well. Okay, so when I was at work, when I was working in a full-time warehouse, I would take a moment and go over to a corner where there wasn't a camera and I would just stand there and speak some codes into my solar plexus, placing my hands on this energy center here. And sending in the energy. Okay, hashu kai si ya wata kai shuku ko ai ti ma e ka ke so ko tai shi na ne kiti inoko so ke te she ete ekwa. So I'm getting a lot of elemental energies here, fairy type energies. And they're quite playful. And what they're doing is they are bringing joy to this energy center, which is the solar plexus, okay, your purpose center. So that's what I would do. I would, when I was at work, I would find a quiet space and I would go and speak the codes, the frequency, the light language into my solar plexus, and that worked as like a battery, and it would energize me, and it would be again also clearing away other people's bullshit, my own bullshit as well, that wasn't in my highest and best interest, that wasn't serving me. So if you are empathic, it's an amazing tool to be able to use, because it raises your frequency, it raises your vibration, so it gets rid of things that are not aligned, for things that are not serving you. So I always say this as well, like, when you're empathic, you do really need to be working on your belief systems as well, as in what you believe about other people and yourself, your self-concept. Another video again. Okay. So how else do I use light language? So I would say like probably the number one way in which I use it is I use it with the intention to receive and connect with my angels and guides. But at this point, it doesn't even feel like it's an intention. I'll just randomly start speaking it. And then what it does, because as I've explained in another video, the codes, the sounds and the expressions are like keys which unlock your ability to receive multidimensional information. Now, what that then means is that your angels and guides are much more easily able to communicate with your higher self. So your higher self is then channeling these frequencies, because on a soul level, we are also connected to different beings, angels and guides and all that, because your soul is so vast and so much more complex than we can ever possibly imagine. It's easy to kind of think of it for a lot of people as in, they're angels and guides that are like outside of me or whatever, and then we're channeling them in. There's no right or wrong, and it doesn't ultimately matter. That's what they actually say to me. All this stuff doesn't ultimately matter. The how doesn't ultimately matter. What matters is, I'm going to say how, how you implement the information that they give, not how it is done, because people kind of get sort of tricked up and well, how's it working? Because the human mind wants to know how, why, it wants to make sense. But this is understood and received on a soul level. So the main way in which I use it is to channel my angels and guides and higher self and receive multidimensional information, multidimensional wisdom for myself. And the more that I work with this frequency, the more it opens me up to new possibilities, to my creative gifts, okay, as well. Because the other thing that it will do, the other way in which I use it, the other way I teach people how to use it, I don't teach people light language because we don't do that. It's an unlearning process, but you can teach people how to work with the light language. Okay, so, because your own light language is already within you, so it's not like I'm teaching you a language. Okay, I hope this makes sense. It unlocks your creativity. Okay, so for example, if you're a dancer, you're going to become an even better dancer, because whenever we're creating something, we're channeling something. It's all channeling, really. And that's what it does. It gives you the ability to receive more information. So of course you're going to unlock your dancing to a new level, or unlock your art to a new level, or unlock your writing to a new level. And this is why a lot of people do come to me now for this, is that, or they want to create a course, or they want the business to go to the next level. It's going to unlock that. That's what it does. I'm receiving like a buzzing noise, even as if I'm saying this. Like, So it can be used to amplify your creativity. So I see it as like being an amplifier as well. So of course it's used in healing sessions. It's, you know, so I use angelic Reiki, whatever your modality is, any healing modality, okay? Now the way that I work, so this is not necessarily traditional of angelic Reiki, but angelic Reiki was kind of like my initial sort of set point for the way that I do my healing sessions. So after I started it off kind of in the angelic Reiki sense, then I moved to kind of scanning the body. And when I'm speaking the codes, it kind of opens the physical, it like illuminates the physical being for me. And then I'm able to get a sense of any kind of dark spots in the physical being. And it's like I can pull them out. I hope this makes sense. If you're an energy healer, you'll know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you'll be like, what the fuck is she talking about? But it like illuminates the being, and then I'm able to perceive or get a sense of or see kind of wispy bits of energy that need to be removed, need to be pulled out. And then as I'm pulling them out, I'll speak the light language that kind of dissolves them. And then I'll send new codes in, because then there's like a space, because you've made space by removing something that wasn't supposed to be there. And when I'm speaking the codes, I'm sending them in to the person's field, using it to balance the chakras, using it to activate DNA on the cellular level so that it repairs, restructures, grows, whatever it is that it needs to do. Okay, so sending in the codes. And it's extremely powerful, because it's like you are speaking the energy healing that you're doing. So the client is able to feel that on a much deeper level, because you're giving it that physical aspect when you're speaking it with your voice or toning it or whatever it is. So it is really powerful to use as part of another healing modality if you do feel drawn to it. That's how I brought my light language on a lot, through doing the angelic Reiki and just going kind of where I felt drawn to go in the body and speaking it. So yeah, trying to think about other ways that I use it. And I know there are others, and I will come to them, but I think that's all I can remember right now. I use it just to cheer myself up a lot as well, because, you know, when you use it, it quickly changes your emotional state. So I'll just start channeling, and I just notice my whole being will just change, and I'll just feel so different. So yeah, it's an amazing ability that we all have. Okay, so if you do feel called and if you do feel drawn to it, my website is amygoodwincoaching.com. I have healing and activation sessions, a light language course on there for those that feel called, and I also offer spiritual development sessions, spiritual business sessions as well, if that is something that you would love to do. Okay, if you've got a particular subject that you would like me to talk about, light language, then put it in the comments below. Let me know what you received from this. Yeah, okay. I'm going to speak some light language now. Yeah, I am. Okay. Let's just finish it up with some light language. Hasumi arahaye shaheteki hashana aye. Susamahaye shukotaye. Liso marakia. Nuana aqua she isima ea. Ushati akateana. Sukame sukanamahako, sukanamaye, eteya na aye shi ikisi isi a, laye sohotuai, ni arani isha esa ama aye, nutumaya nahako taneshti ikiaha. Okay, many blessings, and I'll see you soon.